Okay, good evening. Welcome to the Board of Selectpersons meeting for April 13th, 2026. We are now going to go into executive session at 6 o'clock under 1 MRSA 405-6A.
I make a motion to enter into executive session.
Second. All in favor? All opposed? Okay, let's vote. Okay, it's 6:56. We are out of the executive session that we started at 6 o'clock. We are now going into another executive session under 1 MRSA 4056A.
I'll make a motion to enter into executive session.
Second. All those in favor? All opposed? Vote. Okay, it's 7:18, and we are out of executive session. However, we have one more executive session to do tonight. And under Executive Session 1, MRSA 4056A, we will be in executive session for a few minutes,
I will
hopefully.
make a motion to enter into executive session under one, okay,
Second?
there was a second.
All in favor?
All right.
Opposed? None? Okay, let me go out and see if they're there. now 7:46. We're out of executive session, and we will take a 5-minute break and then commence our regular meeting. All set? Okay, we're back for our regular meeting. Have a call to order with a flag salute.
Almost rolled right into you.
Okay. Has everybody had a chance to look at the warrant?
I have, but I think I'm the only one who signed it, so.
Okay, I haven't had a chance to sign it.
I haven't seen the warrants.
Okay, we need to get that squared away. We'll hear a motion to accept it,
Except the what?
the warrant.
We don't have a majority vote on it, so.
Okay,
or
well,
The majority hasn't seen it, so I would recommend it.
we'll have to hold off then. Okay, motion to accept the April 6th meeting
So moved.
minutes.
Second?
All in favor? Okay, announcements, Wade?
Town reports are available at the town office. The Select Board will meet on Tuesday, April 21st at 7 PM. The Planning Board will meet next on Wednesday, April 15th at 7 PM. And the Select Board is looking for a few more members to join a comprehensive committee. If interested, please contact email bos@limerickme.org. The committee is meeting now on Thursdays at 1 PM at the municipal building. All municipal offices will be closed on Monday, April 20th, 2026 for Patriots' Day. As part of the hearing of citizens policy, no personal attacks on any individual or firm, including town employees, town officials, or members of the public, will be tolerated during any meetings. Please direct concerns about individual employees or town officials to the chairman of the Board of Select Persons outside the public meeting. For your convenience, please, complaint forms are readily available on the sign-in table, and please stay current with town information by visiting www.limerickme.org. And also, just as a note for the citizens, if you are in need of fire or rescue or anything to such as that, do not call the town office, dial 911.
Okay, thanks. Okay, department reports, Cindy Smith?
Hi, Cindy Smith. I have a report about the library. So we have things happening in April. Saturday, April 18th, we have an author coming. Her name is Kate Flora, and she writes crime novels. She's won some awards. So she will be here at 11 o'clock Saturday, April 18th. This newsletter is also on the library website, limericklibrary.org, and on our Facebook page. Aaron Tebow is coming on Saturday, April 25th at 11, and he's going to talk about birding beyond your backyard. And he'll have some useful tips on how you can learn about other birds. He told me that normally people have a bird feeder and they get certain birds, but there's a lot of birds that don't come to bird feeders that are out there, and you'd be surprised at what else is out there. So he'll be talking about that. We're planning our summer reading program, which starts June 20th and ends August 8th, so watch for more on that. We also have the Children's Museum and Theater Pass. That's a discount pass, so you pick the day that you want to go. It's good for 4 people. They get in for half price. And so we have that, and then we're also, we have ordered the Maine Wildlife Park Pass, and that's also a discount pass. And that is, people will actually get a ticket, so I would give everybody a ticket that wants to go, and they would pay half price when they get there. The Children's Museum is different. That's a pass that it's just a photocopy, and you take it and you leave it there. You don't have to, it's not anything you have to return to us. Wednesday, April 15th at 6 p.m., we have Andrew Novick will be here. He's a financial advisor from Edward Jones, but he's going to be talking about retirement planning and Medicare, how Medicare ties into your retirement plans. We have some different take-and-make craft kits available. We have our book discussions coming up. We are closed on Monday, again, for Patriots' Day. We have Legos available to build with on Tuesday afternoons at 3 and Saturday mornings at 10. And I think that's about it, unless I could talk about the cemetery.
Go ahead.
Branch off from the library. So last year, we had money to work on the veterans' headstones, and the town gave us some, and then we got donations. So we were able to go beyond what we had planned, and we worked in the Hillside Cemetery. But I took a walk through the Highland Cemetery across the street. There are 3 veteran headstones up there that need work. One has tipped over, 2 are, you can just wiggle them and they would fall. I haven't been up this spring to see if they're still standing. I reached out to Judson and from Maintain the Memory, and he gets $900 a day. And I didn't know if, I know there's cemetery money, and I know you want to cut trees, and I didn't know if there was like at least $1,800 to have him come for 2 days and work on those headstones, because they are a 2-day process, because you start, you remove it, you may have to epoxy, you have to cement, you have to dig out the dirt and the rocks maybe that are underneath, put in the pea stone. And so that's probably a 2-day process, at least, to get those 3 headstones that were bad last year. And those are veterans' headstones. I've also talked to Tom LePage. He said there was a headstone that needs repair in the Clark's Bridge Road Cemetery. I think it's Clark and Boothby that's over there. But I didn't know if we could use at least $1,800 of that cemetery money, or do you want to wait and let me know?
We'll have to let you know, because we got to look and see what we get for balances there.
Okay. So just keep in mind, he does, he charges $900 a day.
Now, how many stones can he work on? I know
Well-
he jumps around when he comes up.
Right, because, well, it depends on the damage. If it's an easy one, he could do one, get 1 stone done in that day and not have to come back to it. But if it needs epoxy or, some other cementing, then it's a 2-day process. So it just depends on what's damaged. Thanks.
Good,
Thank you.
thanks. Next is Joanne Andrews, Transfer Station.
I'm here tonight to let you know that Maine has just instituted another price increase for oversized bulky waste from $116.50 a ton to $118.75 a ton, starting tomorrow. So we didn't get much notice. That's not earth-shaking. We'll work through that. But now it appears that they may be even doing it on a 6-month basis because things are changing so fast. I've got the year-end figures. The state of Maine, we always do our year-end 18 or 20-page report in April, but this year it's been put off till May because they're coming up with a new procedure on how to do it online, and I can't wait to see what they do with this. Last year, we took in 94.22 tons of metal, 1,583.78 tons of household waste, 317.49 tons of household waste was put through the crusher, the compactor at the transfer station. Right now, after 4 months, we're running at about 500 tons of household waste, so I'm thinking that we're going to see a big increase in the household waste. I don't know why. We're watching to make sure that people don't put big items in those bags that go in the compactor, but the stuff gets by us. It's in a bag, and people have done that for a long time. We are catching people and making them pay for the demolition. Single sort, we went down on our recycling. We're down to 86.5 ton of single sort. Demolition that went to a landfill was a little over 94 tons. OBW, or bulky waste, that went to Maine to be burned for fuel, was 134 tons. We took in nearly 6 tons of electronics, about 2 tons of bottles and cans, that's an estimate. And our apparel input recycling, which is just clothing and shoes that go into those white boxes down there, 6 1/3 tons. That's just clothes. The Take It shop, I estimate 150 tons is given away in clothing, household items, furniture, building materials. This is pure savings for the town in tipping fees and hauling charges. 150 tons would have an estimated cost to us of $30,400 a year. That is the upside for the town. The big plus is that it's helping residents as well as saves the residents the cost of disposal. Our big barn right now is overfull with good usable furniture and building materials, free to Limerick residents and taxpayers. Come down and take a look. It's the busiest place in town. I guess after the Facebook frenzy that we had today or yesterday on Facebook, we need to have a discussion on pricing. First of all, the people at the transfer station don't set the prices. The townspeople do. Anybody could look up. I have examples here if anybody wants to see them. From Newfield, Tri-Town, which is where Parsonsfield takes their stuff, Leamington, and Riverside Recycling. The big deal was mattresses. That's what started this frenzy this morning. $25 for a crib-size mattress or a king-size mattress. Makes no difference. We get billed $25 a piece from Maine, a separate bill every month. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense. A lot of times, if people have a box spring that's just covered with fabric and has some wood in it and a spring, I'll tell them, take it home, take it apart, burn the wood, and bring the spring back. It's a crime that they have to pay $25 to get rid of it. More often than not, they say, heck with it, I'm not going to bother. Charge me the $25. Of all the towns that take in mattresses, the only thing that I found that was less than $25 was Newfield, and they only charge $10 for a cot or baby crib mattress. Other than that, $25. Some of the towns are up to $30. Riverside, if they want to take them there, they're $70 a piece at Riverside. We're lucky we have a transfer station because a lot of towns don't. and they have to rely on taking stuff to Riverside or taking it to Jeff Simpson in Sanford. And we're lucky that we do that. I just want to say that I would hope that these people that are making comments online about the employees at your transfer station, about us pocketing money, or the money is going elsewhere, whatever that means. There's only 2 of us that handle the money, and let me tell you how we handle it. We take in the money, put it in the register, give the people their change and a receipt. If they don't want the receipt, they say, I don't want it. I don't want to recycle it. Everybody has the opportunity to get a receipt. Everybody. The cash register spits out 2 tapes a night. I put 1 tape with the money when I turn it in to the treasurer, along with a duplicate tape for her to go by. She counts the money, she takes her tapes, she approves them by signing them, and she returns them to me with a receipt for the amount that she has deposited. We do that on at least a weekly basis. That's how we handle the money. So I would hope that people would stop intimating, because there's only 2 people down there that handle the money. I handle the majority of it, and Cortland handles some. We have a problem quite a bit on pricing. John Medici had the what we should do about that. If people don't like it, we get a scale. And we charge them 20 cents a pound for everything that goes across the scale, whether it's a bulldozer or what it is. It's 20 cents a pound. But the only drawback is scales cost upwards of $200,000. And the way that's set up, it's where would we put the office, and how would we weigh the stuff? And it would also eliminate people coming there for other reasons like recycling and the take it chart. So, does anybody have any questions?
Steve?
Yeah, Steve McLean. Joanne, you think, years ago we had that one Sunday where it was free for people to bring up? We could do that once a year. A lot of the other towns do that for, white metal and goods or tires. You think we could do that for the townspeople?
Well, people bring tires now.
But they're charged. I'm saying they offer a one day, one free. We did that years ago when I think Jed Richardson picked up stuff.
We charge a moderate price for tires, $3. Most of the other towns are charging between $5 and $7. And we don't have a hazardous waste day for people because the state supplies one once a year in October.
All right.
Anybody else? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Next, we'll have a hearing of citizens.
Anne Marie Carroll on behalf of the Limerick Historical Society. We're hosting a program on May 7th at the Congregational Church at 7 p.m. The program is about World War II Maine soldiers who were buried in the American Margranten Cemetery in the Netherlands. The couple giving this presentation is going to tell their story about all the soldiers buried in the American Margranten Cemetery and how they learned about their brother's grave and the family that adopted and taken care of the grave for decades. The Forever Promise Project, which is a partnership between 2 nonprofit organizations, the American Monuments Men and Women Foundation and the Dutch Foundation for Adopting Graves American Cemetery Margranten. The Foundation for Adopting Graves American Cemetery Margranten was created in February 1945 to encourage the Dutch citizens to express gratitude for the American liberators by adopting their graves. The people of the Netherlands have never forgotten the American soldiers liberating them from the Nazis. To qualify as a volunteer family to adopt an American soldier's grave, they have to agree to visit the grave regularly and remain in touch with the soldiers' next of kin in the United States if they could find them. By Memorial Day 1946, 100% of the 18,000 graves had been adopted, but next of kin information was not available for 80% of those buried. To this day, very few Americans know about the Dutch grave adoption program. The Dutch continue to teach their children about the respect they have for the American soldiers. There's a continued waiting list of volunteer families to adopt these graves when the current adoptees can no longer keep their commitment. We hope to see many of the townspeople and their children attend to experience the love, respect, and commitment the Dutch have for our fallen American heroes. Thank you. Hope to see you there.
Lisa LePage, Limerick Historical. I just want to give a little outline of what we have going on for events. We have May 7th. Then the next one is May 16th. We have a painting auction again at the Congregational Church, or I said the New Limerick Historical Home. So we directors will be out looking for donations. Then Monday, May 25th, Memorial Day Parade, we'll be doing the selling grilled hot dogs at the end of our driveway over by the park. And new this year, July 18th, we are having a summer craft fair / yard sale if somebody wants to bring stuff. And November 7th also, we're doing a craft fair. Be more coming out, but that's a start.
Anyone else?
Oh, no, I have one more. I told you, I didn't put it on the list. We are creating a cookbook. Let me find that. Yeah, Limerick Historical Society is creating a cookbook. So we're looking for your favorite recipe. It can be your personal favorite recipe or one that's been handed down from your parents, your grandparents. Fudge.
I know. I'd end up in the grave if I gave that
But
away.
we have these papers that you can fill out to write it, but it also has a place for you to put your personal note. This fudge came from my grandfather. You know, just so it's a personal part of it. We also, this year, are not doing 4 weeks of bingo, we are doing 7. 7 weeks of bingo. The 4 Wednesdays in July and the first 2 Wednesdays in August, up at the Bricktown Hall. Did I get everything? And we'll have more information about the cookbooks. That we're just getting underway, but we want your recipes. We want to build the memories.
Anyone else? Steve?
I'm sorry, hold on, Steve. Lisa, where can people get the form from you?
I have them. I can give them all.
You have them, okay.
And we will be putting them out.
Can you bring some up so we have them out in the hall here?
I have some up in that.
Thank you.
All right, Steve McLean. Wade, you were talking about 911. I mean, also, if there's a fire, people should call 911. All right, we had it again, we're having it more often now. People are calling the station to say, you know, we have a fire, we have this or that. Sunday, we had a call that we went on to, and the lady said, I tried 3 times to call the station with no answer. And I explained our guys were out, and I told her, you know, just never call the fire station, 911. All right, and I think that's important for people to know, because if our guys are out, there is nobody at the station. I mean, the station's manned until we have a call, then it's not manned. So it's, you know, to do that. The other thing is, Brady, maybe you'd know this. Did we ever get a phone ringer out in the bay? Because the other day I was up there, it was ringing, we just barely heard it. But originally, the fire station was supposed to have a ringer, so if it rang in that office, it would ring everywhere. I don't know if
I'd
that's
have
ever.
to check with the
No,
fire chief.
we oughta, so, you know,
Have you
I'm just
checked with
saying.
the fire chief?
No, I haven't seen him. I just, when Wade was talking about that today, that's why I just said that. The other thing I'd just like to touch on, Thursday, our engine 2 was repaired, so back in service. But the heartache to this is that that truck's been down for a year, all right? And I think 6, 8 months ago, I was saying, there is no truck sitting in a fire station that shouldn't be ready to go, okay? We've known about it. I've talked to the captain in charge, and every time he wanted to do something, oh, we don't have money. Well, we do have money, and if it's an emergency, come to the select board and we can get the extra money. You know, that truck sat there in disrepair, okay? You'll get the bill, and we may be shocked at the bill, but you know what? If we're gonna have a fire truck sitting in our station, it ought to be ready to go, all right? Truck that's...
Say it was down for a year? Engine 2?
Engine 2, all right, the primer valve broke at the fire we had on Watson Hill Road, so maybe I'm off a month,
September,
okay?
so 6
So-
months.
No, it was 6, 8 months, okay? That, they replaced 3 valves that were broken. So here we are for 6 months, 8 months with a truck that, and the valves were gone before that fire. But what I'm saying is, it shouldn't sit there for 6 months. If a truck breaks, we call the company up and get them down here to fix a truck, all right? That's just, in 50 years I've been associated with the department, I don't think we've ever had a truck sit like that, okay? They fixed engine 3, which has had a leak for just about a year. They fixed the leak on that. We shouldn't have a truck in there with a leak, all right? The next truck they're gonna fix is the tanker, which you have to plug in the air line, wait for it to build air before you can move the truck. It's preposterous, okay? So I think we have to pay attention to the maintenance on the trucks, all right? The truck's sitting in there, somebody ought to be able to jump in and go, okay? That engine 2, Brady, we went up to the fire in Parsons Field, okay? So we didn't use that truck because we used engine 3. So that made that truck virtually useless. It cannot suck water. The dump valve was taken out of it, so it can't dump water. So I put it up on the side street because it was just in the way. The trucks ought to be ready to go, all right? And this town of Limerick, in the 50 years I've been around, has never said no to anything we've ever wanted on the fire department. So the truck should be ready to go.
Thank you. Anyone else? Lisa?
I'm here tonight as a taxpayer to ask for clarity, accountability, and adherence to the decisions made by the voters of this town. On March 30th, 2026, during Limerick's special town meeting, the voters approved a reduction of $12,200 to the town treasurer's salary. This reduction was understood to reflect the transition of payroll duties to an outside company, which the town is now paying that same amount to perform. However, despite that vote, it appears the treasurer continues to receive full pay, including the $12,200 that the voters explicitly chose to remove. This raises a serious concern. Taxpayers are now paying twice for the same responsibility, once to the payroll company and once to the continued treasurer's salary. I'm asking the selectmen to clearly explain why the voter-approved reduction has not been implemented, 1. 2, under what authority this decision was made, and 3, and when and if all the town intends to comply with the vote. Additionally, I want to address a separate concern regarding the payment made on April 9th, 2025, in which the treasurer reportedly paid herself for 4 weeks of vacation, totaling $3,144.94. The question was stated that this was approved in executive session. However, after reviewing meeting records, there does not appear to have any documentation of the executive session itself or the required selectmen's voting following this session to approve the payment. As you know, any decision involving the expenditure of public funds must be voted on in open session to be valid. I respectfully requesting documentation of that executive session and any related vote, clarification of the town's personnel policy regarding vacation pay for salaried employees, and an explanation of how this payment was authorized. This is not personal. This is about transparency, proper procedure, and respecting the will of the voters. As taxpayers, we deserve a clear answers and accountability for how public funds are being spent. Thank you. The other thing I'd like to do, can we get the financials posted on the website weekly? That would take a lot of questions out. It used to be.
Yes.
And I know we don't have, you guys don't have a secretary, but it starts with the treasurer.
Hopefully after tomorrow, we'll have a secretary. So, got a bunch of questions there. I know as far as the vote, I was obviously on vacation, I wasn't there,
Right?
and
But Dee Dee is the one that ran, that was her meeting. She
Yeah.
ran it, never said there was an issue, nothing. Stan was moderator, it all went well. Supposed to be on Title 30A, Section 2106, recording within 3 days of a vote going in, the unit clerk, town clerk, has to file reports with the results with the Secretary of State, the law library, and a copy stays in the clerk's office.
And she has actually been working with MMA Legal because of questions and confusion during the meeting that happened. So she's just trying to get some direction from them because it was amended so many times. There were just questions on it, and she wants to make sure that she has it absolutely
We're
correct.
talking 3 weeks, Laura.
I understand that.
So
I understand that,
legally,
but
she has 3 days. I'm just telling you what the law says. But there was no, I don't know where all the confusion was. The bottom line is Stan ran the meeting. He called for the vote, how it was amended. The people voted overwhelmingly to have the pay cut. And she, to this day, is still getting paid her full rate. That is not her money. And you guys have no right to give it to her because you sign off on the warrants. She had no right to take a vacation pay. She's salary.
she does get that.
She gets a regular
Salary
pay.
employees do get vacation pay that
I'd like to
rolls
see the
over.
contract because salary is salary. Hourly gets vacation pay.
It
Doesn't
should
mean
be
she
in
has to
the-
work those 4
It
weeks.
should be in the employee handbook online.
I didn't see
and
it, but I'll go look
All
again.
of, Dee Dee gets, whose salary gets vacation, Judy gets vacation, Stan gets vacation, Julie gets vacation. They're all salary. They break down their budgets hourly, but ultimately they are salaried employees or officials.
I'll look into that one. But I'd like to know why things haven't been changed. 3 weeks. 3 weeks, your people overwhelmingly voted this. You guys are not listening to the people. It's not right.
Question. You had a question about executive session authorizing so much money?
I'm sorry?
You had a question about an executive session where we authorized some money?
Yes, because when Julie was questioned about it, she said, I was in executive session when the selectmen approved me to have 4 additional weeks of vacation pay. One, there's nobody coming out of executive sessions with check back, because in order to make it legal, you have to vote on it when you come out of executive session. There's none of it. Talked to former selectmen, They don't recall ever talking to her about giving her an additional 4 weeks of pay. So something's not adding up, guys.
I don't remember that, do you?
That was before you.
Okay,
I mean, even if we did, remember, executive session for a reason. The only reason it becomes public knowledge is if we take notes, and that's the only way. So even, decisions can't be made in executive session no matter what, without a vote. Yeah.
Steve?
Yeah, Steve McLean. With this, the payroll company, okay? Do they do everything for the town now? Okay. What's,
Julie still has to enter, take care of all the hours, and then
Okay.
she submits them to the payroll company.
okay. So there's still some involvement as far as pay for everybody in this town with the treasurer. So it's not like that $12,000, she washes her hands, she doesn't touch it.
Correct.
Do we know how much time per week is involved with all her part of that process?
She spends the better part of a day.
Okay,
It was what, 8 hours? 8 hours a week, just putting in payroll information?
I believe so.
okay.
It's around that.
So she's not cut completely out of the picture. It's not like somebody drops it off.
Somebody has to
Hours.
correlate all that information from the fire department plus the other employees and send it in.
Right. So all of her DM people, everything comes into her. She sorts it all out, and basically they're printing checks.
Exactly.
Okay.
That and doing the W-2s, all the federal
Yeah,
paperwork.
which they will later
That's all
on, but
part of
that's
it.
another subject. Okay. So the process still is here, and it's just gone up there for
A
basically.
portion of it's done here.
Right.
Can I just clarify? I just received a message saying, getting vacation pay, getting vacation and vacation pay are two different things. Salary people either take the vacation or not, up to them, but they don't get paid if they don't take the vacation.
Okay. Cheryl?
Okay. Where do I start?
At the beginning.
If, I still have a problem with not the citizens voting. They have every right in the old-fashioned town meetings. You can lower the budgets, and that's fine, and that's always been, and it's legal, and the voters speak. But I have a large problem on when a specific drop in someone's budget is explicitly told to be taken someone's salary. Ricky would be too happy if the board or somebody voted and said, you can't tar the roads with $500,000 this year, you're gonna have to use that for something else. You don't, I don't even know whether that's a legal thing. I'm still checking into it. It's just, yes, cut the budget. If you want to cut the budget, that's the people's choice. But when you explicitly get up there and say that you're not going to get salary because we're farming this out to another company, when you're still doing, I personally wish that Julie would just drop the payroll in a bag when it comes in, ship it off the payroll, and see how happy this town's going to be when they don't get a check cut and they don't get their bills paid, because the work that Julie does for the payroll is in-house, except for some of it. It's not a cut and dry thing. If anybody knew anything about bookkeeping, they'd know. So this is, like I said, I'm still checking in. I don't know whether that was even illegal. This is what you're going to have to do when you cut this budget, because we're going to take your salary away from you. Don't know. Don't know what you guys' opinion are. I don't know whether you're doing it with the lawyers or not, but that part is not right. So But vacation, everybody was entitled to a vacation. If you're going to work it, if you're not. Stephanie was having trouble. She was talking about it here, about getting her extra time or whatever you get for hours and stuff like that if you don't take your vacation. I mean, it's just not a cut and dry. Did she get the $3,000 plus or whatever vacation pay? I mean, I would think that would be a personal thing. That wouldn't be whatever, just talk about gossip. Don't know. Is it, anybody ever seen the check? Maybe she did. She's entitled to vacation. Like you said, everybody, salary or not. But I still, like I say, if they're going to do, and has the board told Julie to stop paying herself for her payroll deduction? I mean, is there anything official been done? I mean, everybody lays this all on Julie, and it shouldn't be. It's the group that needs to have forms. This is what you can't do. This is what you can do. And, I'm just tired of the BS.
Anyone else?
Has the board asked Julie about the payment that she's getting paid? Have you addressed the town vote with her? I'm sure she knows about it.
I can speak for myself. She does know about it. She is aware that the payroll line was deducted. I personally have not told her how to coordinate her payroll. I'm unsure if the rest of the board has. But in my eyes, I think whether it's, I said this the other day, if you have a flat amount to spend for a 52-week period, whether you spend 52 weeks in the beginning or you break it out over 52 weeks, I mean, she could keep her pay rate the same, and then when it'll get to a point where there's not enough left in the budget to continue paying, and we'll get to that point if it continues to stay this way, or she could do the math and reduce it. But until we have a certified vote from the town clerk, I'm concerned on the budget for that department.
And down the road, that's not going to happen.
Correct.
So why isn't the vote certified? Has anyone on the board been updated on why it's not certified?
I know there were some wording issues that she was worried about, and the town clerk was worried about. In my mind, there was some confusion there. There was a lot of words getting changed, thrown out there. But the vote, in my mind as a young guy, was done properly with the amended, voted on the amendment, and voted to accept the warrant as amended. But the town clerk is the one who decides that with the, but Lori,
Yeah.
you gave me an update on that too, so.
Yeah,
you know
and
more.
I have been working with Dee Dee and with MMA Legal to try to get they are reviewing the tapes from that evening as well, to make sure that everything was done correctly, that the article was amended properly, so that it can be certified.
Is that unusual? How many town votes have we had? Do they all go to MMA to be reviewed?
No, absolutely not. But when the article as amended is written, comes across two different ways, and there were so many changes in between, it got confusing that night. And Dee Dee wants to make sure that she has it written exactly how it needs to be written. And she wants to make sure that it's correct. And absolutely, I think this one needs to be correct, because I don't want to see the town set ourselves up for a lawsuit when it may take a little bit of time. But to have somebody on the outside reviewing it that knows the laws, knows the legalities of everything, to have them review it, come back and say, okay, here's how it needs to be written and certified. And then have it done, be a done issue, and complete and correct.
So say if it comes back, it ran okay, she certifies it,
Yep.
then what do you do then? Do you take the money back that she paid herself?
She has, it's like Brady said, She has so much, she would have so much in her annual budget for her salary.
Right.
So it would be up to her at that point. Does she want to deduct, or does she want to just take a lower pay? That's going to be up to her how she uses that annual budget for the year.
Now, when you had other votes and it didn't work out the way someone wanted, everyone always said, take it to Superior Court if you don't like the way it was voted. Why is this different? Right.
Dee Dee has to be the one to certify it. And I think it's prudent on her to reach out to MMA Legal and ask for their assistance so that she can get this certified without the added cost. Because the minute we say, okay, you know what, this is gonna go to court, we're gonna take this to Superior Court, we're looking at attorney's fees, we're looking at filing fees, we're looking at all kinds of fees that the town is gonna pay for, that MMA Legal, more likely than not, is going to come back and say, okay, here's how we're gonna do this so that it can be certified. And be done with it. But we are obviously not the only town that's reaching out to them for various matters, whatever. They have very few attorneys. But if we can do this at no cost to the town, get this certified, we'll be better off.
And as far as I was a little confused with the vacation pay. So is there a clause in Limerick, if you get a salary and you take a week off, you're still getting paid for that week you take off?
Correct.
So she's actually getting paid double when she goes on vacation? Is that how she's doing it?
Yes.
She paid herself $3,000 or approximately for 4 weeks vacation.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't either.
All right, that's so. Maybe you can look into it then. That's what so, but you understand where I'm coming from? You're getting paid twice for a week's vacation?
Exactly, yep.
Okay, so maybe, I mean, hopefully it's not true, but maybe you can look into it. Thank you.
You don't have to, we'll look it up. All right, I'll wait, Gail's first.
On March 13th, there was a vote, and it was defeated for the treasurer's office. That same vote included the housekeeping articles that say you can pay 3/12 of the budget, last year's budget, I guess, and use it. On April 1st, what was the treasurer's budget? Because on March 30th, that vote is being contested. I'm not sure what the right words are. So on April 1st, how much money is in the treasurer's budget?
If we have zero, and suppose we have zero, and we say, okay, Julie, there's zero money in the budget for treasurer,
Correct.
how are you going to get paid?
That's up to you to answer.
Well, we don't have a treasurer at that point.
Well, you can have a treasurer.
And-
She can work for nothing like the TSA people do.
No.
How long do you think that's gonna last, Gail?
I don't know, but that if she goes home because she's not getting paid, then it's up to you to run this town. How would you handle it? Because I believe her budget is zero until Dee Dee does
Certifies.
whatever she's doing, yeah, and you have a decision.
Right, and there's also another thing that we need to look into, because there are other towns that, and I don't know, I have to verify this, or one of us needs to verify this, but it has been thrown out there that if it's not passed, it reverts to last year's budget.
But it did pass.
Hasn't been certified yet, but what I'm saying, she's saying if it, so yes, it passed.
March 13th is a valid vote. Do you
Correct.
agree? And
Correct.
it was voted down, so
Yep.
she did not have a budget as of April 1st because the March one is being contested. So my question is, how are you paying her? You got contingency? Do you have contingency? Did you get that?
That's on that same vote.
Oh, you
That's
didn't get
being-
that either? Oh, okay. Well, I'm just saying, I don't think she has any money in her budget, so she shouldn't be charging her budget. Maybe you have another plan, but I think that falls back to you folks, not to her. If she's willing to work for nothing while this gets fixed or decided, that's up to her too, and maybe it'd be retroactive at that point, but I don't think she should be paying herself, okay, unless those housekeeping articles are worthless. It's just something to look into. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Last time.
Last time. Just want to clarify things. If you were at the meeting, on the special town meeting on the 30th, recall, Dee Dee stopped the meeting to clarify at the end, before the vote was taken. She stopped the meeting to get it written down correctly. So it was verified. And then Stan took over for the voting. Again, greatly pushed through. Second of all, you're talking vacation. On 4/2/25, she paid herself $13.77. On 4/9/25, she paid herself $31.44.84. And then on 4/16, she paid herself another $1,300. So she's still getting her regular pay plus an additional vacation pay. The other thing, Cheryl, I want to clarify is, I'm not taking money from her. I'm taking what we're paying. I'm paying, you're paying that $12,200 extra to do her job that the treasurer's always done. Find it, pay it some other way. But I'm telling you, we're double paying. Treasurer, payroll company, for the same job.
Cheryl, it's on the same subject last time.
Where'd you get your figures for her paychecks? Did you four-year it?
Excuse me?
Your figures for her paycheck, did you four-year it? Freedom of Information Act?
Yes.
Okay, and that's how you know what she got paid?
Yeah.
Okay. Was she told not to pay herself that yet, officially? And as far as Dee Dee,
That's why I asked the select.
that's, as far as Dee Dee clarifying it or certifying it or whatever, that meeting was nothing but a chaos problem. It was disgusting the way it was handled, and I was there, I was listening. I heard that Dee Dee had asked several times, and she'd get it down, written down, and then somebody would get up and want to change it, and they'd change the wording of this, and then Stan would say, well, this is going to be this, or this, that, and then Dee Dee would read it over again. So yeah, no, M&A needs to check it because there's more going on than everybody knows right now. It needs to be straightened out without, I'm glad we're not paying a lawyer for it.
You weren't even at the meeting.
She was still at the meeting.
You weren't at special town meeting?
No, she was not.
Okay,
I was
okay.
listening to it. I heard every, I listen to it whether I'm here or not, darling.
It's enough. Let's go on to the meeting here. Okay. Anyone else? Hearing citizens. Okay, let's go on. We don't have any review of legal accounts tonight. Paving lot update. We have a situation in reviewing the proposal that we got from Sebago Technics, that in order to go out for bid, we have to basically come up with another $20,700, which part of the $6,500 is for surveying, and then the site engineering, which would follow after that for $19,500. At this point, Jerry and Lori haven't seen this, so I just happen to be looking at it this afternoon if you want to look at the, in order to get the engineer and everything done, we have to know what we own, plain and simple. And I would like to see us, as the motion, if we go ahead and have at least the lot surveyed, so that we know where our pins are, because this building's been sitting here since day one, and the only time that I've ever seen the lot line question was the one on the west side, which the Folsoms butt us. And when I was on the board back in the 90s, Phil Folsom and I walked up there and we couldn't find any pins, and we didn't have the money for any survey at the time, so we kind of just let it fly and say, well, there was a fence there and we let it go. Well, now that we're dealing with doing hot top and everything else and redoing that parking lot, the surveyors want to see that surveyed before they'll even go ahead and do any engineering. So that's, rather than spend $20,700, we ought to find out, first of all, if we own the darn thing. And then we'll go on after that. I know this is dragging it out a little bit, but do I hear any motion to go ahead? There is money in the account for that.
Do you know how much is in that account?
I hit it. Oh, wait, we can't go by this one.
Which wood was it in?
I've got that paperwork at home. The last printout should be from last week. We have it. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna have to wait on it, by the looks. I know I've read it, this hasn't been updated. Well, I guess we're gonna have to put that one off till next week, but anyway, that's, we get a solid figure there. My apologies.
No worries.
Okay, so that's where we stand as far as the parking lot. I want to see that get done. We need to get it done, but no matter how we look at it, folks, we're going to have to be spending some money raising some more money to get that done. Joanne?
No, the money that's in there, wasn't that raised for engineering, not for surveying?
Well, it's all inclusive for that project.
I thought it was specifically raised for engineering, the engineering.
That's what the surveying is. It's part of the engineering. But the way they've broken it out is giving us options of, having a surveying's going to cost X amount of dollars. If we couldn't do the whole project, that's part of it. And in past conversations on this, we looked at doing it piecemeal. So, but we're going to have to double check the money. Ooh. I bet I know what you're here for, Dee Dee.
I didn't have to watch it. Clarify. Somebody calls and says, "Are you watching this?" Then I turn it on and I said, "Hold on." So I just want to let you guys know what I am doing, because I am not helping Julie try to get her pay back or anything. That is between her, the select board, MMA, whatever everybody is doing. Let me notify you guys on what I am doing with the minutes. Anybody who watched the meeting or anybody that was there at the meeting knows how that article was utter chaos. Everybody agree?
Yeah.
This town clerk right here is trying to get it right. I have been watching the video when I have a moment or two during my busy little schedule between customers and deadlines. This is why it's not done yet. When it is done, I will release it to the public. I have no problem, but I am going to get it right.
As you should.
Absolutely. So, just want to let you guys know. You guys are going to take care of Julie and her pay and with MMA and all of that fun stuff, and I will work on getting those minutes right, and then they'll be out to the public. Okay? Thank you. Have a good night, you guys.
Go back home, go to bed, so you can come back tomorrow morning.
Okay, next item under old business, Deep Vale, we have an update, Gail?
Deepvale, beginning tomorrow at 7 o'clock, Emery Corner Road will be closed from Central Avenue to Watson Hill, except for the people who live in that section of Emery Corner Road. The public is urged to use Pickerel Pond Road. Aaron Carroll has promised detour signs for everybody to go down to Pickerel Pond and turn, and at Quarry Road, turn again. So I'm hoping the signage makes it up. It'll be confusing, but they're not going to let everybody go into that section because they're doing water and sewer and tearing up the road. Okay, and they also want you to know the first manhole has been installed and sewer pipe laying has begun on that section of Emery Corner in front of like where the laundromat is, right? They're almost to Chris St. Saviour's home, which is the first one on the right as you go up Emery Corner Road. Tomorrow, temporary water will begin to be installed, and that will continue through the project. It's being done by a company called Thirsty Turf that Dearborn Construction has contracted with. They did Hollandville. Everybody will still have water, but they're going to hook it up differently to your home. So somebody's going to come to your home and talk to you if you're in that target area. And they'll be working with the homeowners to install temporary water to their homes. Okay? That's all.
Thank you.
How is this going to affect the laundromat? Will people still have access to the laundromat? Do you know how long it will be closed?
I'm not sure exactly where they'll put the detour sign, but right now you can get into the laundromat right at the bottom of the hill. So I bet they'll still let that happen. So it won't disturb that business. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not promising that personally, but it makes sense. Okay.
Okay, next item is a discussion on the systems administrator. We do have a proposal in from Modem Waves. Do I have a motion to accept it? It's basically the same money we paid last year. A motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the proposal.
Second. Okay, motion seconded. We have a discussion.
I am personally against signing it just because of the fact of the issues that multiple town employees have brought up over the last year with being able to communicate with him. And we did ask for, and the town employees have asked for a better service ticket system and level of request and responsibility held by that company. The company is great. They've done a lot of work for the town, but in this last year, they let a very large subscription of our firewall lapse. So we went for a period of time without a firewall on the town of Limerick's computer systems, which is a major issue in my mind. And if we're paying this person, whether it's $3,000 or $300,000 a year, I think that that person should be responsible for keeping up with our service agreements. So I'll be voting no for those reasons.
Anyone else? Okay. All those in favor of the motion? Unaware of the... All opposed? Okay, let's get...
The search continues.
Search continues, is right. Okay, auditing firm. This afternoon, about 4:30, I received a proposal that everybody's got from the accountant of Stephen Hopkins in Scarborough. Because of getting this late this afternoon, nobody else has read it. I would like to see that tabled until next week, so everybody has a chance to read it, and we'll vote on it. Okay. Okay, any problem with that?
Andre?
Okay. Recreation Director,
I'll forward the whole board emails. We did receive an application a few weeks ago that Alicia had forwarded to all of us that we need to schedule an interview for, and I received another email today from an interested party wondering if it was still open. I let them know it was still open. So I'll forward the email to the rest of the board, and we can figure out something and now that we have a budget approved, I can let them know that it's a very part-time budget with a yearly stipend of a certain amount. But I'll reach out to both of them and then email. I'll reach out to them and CC the whole board on those emails. I just wanted to update everybody before I did that.
okay. Do you have a question? Floyd?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, we need to make, that one's been open for a while now, and I think we need to make a decision.
Okay.
Get somebody in there.
Next item, the YCSWCD grant.
Isn't it a mouthful? I had to read that for
sure
a bunch
is.
of months.
I take it we're waiting on a date.
I'm waiting on a date to meet with him to get our application typed up and submitted.
Okay. Next item, tax acquired property. We have nothing, information on that. Brick Town Hall use policy.
Yeah, so this was something that I brought up a couple weeks ago. We were gonna take it home and review it. This was the meeting after the special town meeting about the possibility of opening up the Brick Town Hall for use to organizations outside of the town and possibly charging a fee to help cover the costs of upkeep of that building. We currently charge a $100 deposit. I was thinking we can keep it the same. They'd get 50 back. We'd keep 50 for the upkeep of the building. Right now, they would get the whole $100 back unless they left it in a bad condition. And the reason this stemmed was somebody from Waterboro reached out, wanting to host a baby shower. So the discussion was maybe we say our community and neighboring communities can use it. But I wanted to bring that back up, make sure we don't let that go. I mean, and if we don't want to change it, we don't want to change it. I can put in my recommendation for changing words and bring it back next week.
Let's all read it and deal with it next week.
Okay.
Can you write up or proposed,
Yep.
changed?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Would an outside entity include SAD 57? Or are they part of our community? So if they wanted to use it, they'd fall under the community's rules and not an outside entity. You don't have to answer that question. It's just, would you think about that?
Yep.
Why would SAD 57?
Adult ed. They want satellite locations because a lot of their customers, whatever you want to call them, are older and they would like to do something, but they don't want to travel at night. They want to offer some things during the day in the community, and they're looking for places to do that. Okay.
Something to consider.
Yeah, so I just, how they're classified is the question. Thank you.
Okay, we have, next is meeting with the butters on 3 Division Road.
So while I was doing the minutes of last week's meeting, there was a lot on this, and we kind of didn't come to a conclusion on where we wanted to end on the meeting with them. We thought maybe a weekend, and we decided that if the full board's there, we'd have to have it televised, so maybe just a portion of the board would be there. We agreed that it should be done on site, on property with the abutters. I just wanted to make sure that I don't know if there was something scheduled or happened or.
No, things have changed in the past week, and I understand the building has been cleaned out, so the rat problem should be going away, or should have gone away. Now it's just a case of legal getting involved in this. And I have not talked to the town's attorney on it. But I've got to find out from Stan because I know we've got some bills on that for legal, and I've got to find out just what he's done.
All right.
Okay. Next.
So are we kicking this one down the road again, or scheduling a meeting at least so that?
I don't think we can do anything. I wish Stan was here to tell us what he's done. Maybe there's no need to meet with them at this point. And
Do we want to
Did you end up speaking with the attorney? Because that was something that was decided to, was that you were
I
gonna.
haven't talked to the attorney.
No, okay.
I mean, is this,
I saw the bill that came in for, I think he called him 3 times.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, is this something that's worth reaching out to the abutters to say, hey, do you still need a meeting with us? I mean, if the property's vacant now, they're not there, it's cleared out, it's up for sale, the only ones who are supposed to go in are the
I don't know if
realtors.
that's back up for sale, that. Yes. Okay.
Stan had asked about them bringing the refuse to the transfer station, and I told him that we would not take it. I don't have rat infested down there, and I don't intend on having it. He told me that it's all cleared out, they won't be coming back, that there's approximately 100 bags of garbage with God only knows what in it. And there's the camper and another pop-up something that's there. And those are the things that Sean asked you about last week. So that's, that, as far as I know, that's where it stands. Who's going to clean it up? They're out of there, their stuff's gone, but who's going to clean it up?
The stuff that's left, is that in bags that's supposed to go for curbside pickup? You know? I haven't been down there. That's why I want to...
If we had anybody else in town that had that much, I would urge them to have a dumpster.
Dumpster, yeah.
They should have a dumpster and have it hauled off.
Okay.
And also the, what could be contained in there may have to be, it's probably biohazard, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so I made a note. I'll ask Stan, and I'll get the information from him or have him here next week.
Howard.
Yep.
Cheryl, did you have a question?
I can wait till the end of the discussion.
I just saw your hand. I wanted to make sure Howard's on.
I was listening to the guy last week, and I know a lot about the VA and the workings and stuff like that, but nothing about the mortgages and stuff. I always figured if they had a VA mortgage, they just made the monthly payments, but I've been told, not know whether it's true or not, but if you have a backed VA mortgage, they pay it off. Is that the reason why the bank isn't getting in contact with you, because they got paid off by the VA? And number two, if they did, are the taxes paid up to date? Then how many years has it been?
They owe quite a bit from what I understand. I don't know the exact number.
But has it been like the 3 days we can foreclose on you and go?
The question on this, we had, the attorney went to court. I'll take the bit, they foreclosed, but they didn't.
They
didn't
did,
finish out. You, Lauren, you
they
know
didn't
about
follow the
that.
process, they dropped it,
Okay.
so they did not go through with the foreclosure,
How long ago was that?
2020.
Okay, so
So that's
the
dead in the
taxes
water.
haven't been paid since then?
I don't know, I didn't look at when the taxes,
Because the lien, I mean, I always thought it was like 3 years or something before.
18 months.
Okay, they lien you, so even, I was thinking that the mortgage, you know, it was paid with the mortgage, but if the mortgage is paid off, then the
It's-
taxes aren't coming in,
The
just
VA
foreclose on
hasn't,
it.
the VA has not recorded a new mortgage, or there has been no
Right,
discharge
yeah.
on the mortgage. So I think it's safe to assume right now that the VA is paying the mortgage payments to keep them up to date.
Oh, okay, because see, like I say, I wasn't sure, that's how I figured things would go, the mortgage, you know, you get a loan through the VA, but someone had said something about, well, once they do that, they just pay the mortgage off, the VA pays the mortgage off.
Not
But maybe
always.
that's
Not always.
with the tunnels of towers and stuff, like they got it mixed up with that. But I was just curious, because I hadn't heard anything like that, but if back taxes, I mean, 3-4 years, so, well, okay, I just thought I was gonna make it simple, but it's not.
It's not.
Supposedly that was all in court. and
Yeah,
then-
it started out in court and then they just
it
dropped the
dropped.
ball.
So at this point in time, we don't know who the mortgage holder is or anything on it,
Well, it's still the same mortgage holder.
but they won't answer the phone.
Yeah, they don't.
Well, the VA, just inquire the VA.
You know, if Stan has been in contact with them, which I believe he
We'll
has,
get an update from Stan.
yeah, we'll have to,
Will corral it.
Okay, next thing, we get down pickleball court.
Mr. Medici, who volunteered last week, sent a text to Howard, Wade, and myself right before the meeting and stated that after consideration, the new director should handle the process of finishing the pickleball court. So he is no longer interested. He said that he'll help out the new rec director. I'll read the message. I don't want to put words in people's mouths. After some consideration, I believe the best approach would be to have the new rec director oversee the completion of the pickleball courts. Once that person is chosen, I would be happy to assist in any way I can. So,
I had a person speak to me today about this whole situation, and the money that was used, according to this person now, and I haven't verified it, was that the money that was used to put the fencing around it was intended for a pavilion down there. And I want to look back and see the minutes and stuff, if that was, so, and also, I happened to be in Portland today, and I stopped by a place in Westbrook that is a pickleball court. And they've got like 20 of them in there. And the reason I stopped is I wanted to find a place that had a concrete base, which is what we've got here. But Jerry and I were down there the other day, and there's some issues with that, the surface on that. It looks like somebody took some salt and spread it, because it's all pitted. Now, these courts that I looked at today, they're all nice and smooth. And the manager of the place actually gave me the name of a lady that had one done at her home, and he gave me her number, and which I called. She hasn't called me back yet, to find out if there is a company out there that specializes, and according to this guy, there was, so we can get a definitive price on it, because I had sent an email to John the other day and asked him if we could get a proposal that shows how this project is going to be prepped, how it's going to be finished, and what is going to be the total cost. So we know, we can look at a budget and say, go for it, or we don't have the money. But if that money from last year that was supposed to be going to that, whatever building it was, I've never seen a plan for it. I don't even know where it's going. So we need to look back and see what that situation is before we go any further, I think. Okay, next.
Can I ask a
Yeah.
question about that?
Sure.
I know I said, I'm Roger Wright. I've lived here since 1986.
Can you go up there, Roger?
Yeah. I live on Patterson Road, been here for almost 40 years. I play pickleball. I play in Waterboro, I play in Hollis, I play in Leamington, I've played at the Wicked Pickle. It's good exercise for all ages, all ages. You don't have to be an expert. MSA D57 had adult ed to learn pickleball. There is different contractors out there that redo concrete courts. They did it in Hollis, and they're trying to get even more courts. It's a matter of, I felt last week that I watched it on TV. You should have accepted the guy's proposal to furnish the labor. They do patch the squares, the holes, the cracks, and they put a different service on it. You can't go to a place like the Pickler, which I imagine that's where you went.
That's where I went.
Because that's a brand new facility. So if you want to talk to somebody about pickleball and redoing surfaces and getting names, talk to John Pelletier. I believe he's in Hollis. He's in charge of, I think, the proposal for them getting a grant or getting new pickleball courts, and he may be able to help you out. But it is a good exercise for everybody, regardless of your age, because I'm no spring chicken either. And sometimes your body says you can do it, but your mind says you better not. Or your mind says you can, but your body says no. But I feel as though that it's about time that Limerick does something for everybody, not just one particular group, regardless of whether it's just kids or adults. Because a lot of towns do things, in my opinion, for seniors that Limerick doesn't do. You know, but that's just my opinion.
Well, I'm not going favoring either way, but you just made a good point in that in the past, when we've talked about the rec department, it's always been about the ball field or the kids.
Yes.
But I agree with you. There's other towns that they'll rent hire a bus service or whatever and go to a casino or do something for people our age, okay?
Yes, I agree. People our age that's been here for a while are the ones that have paid for all these other fees and the taxes, 20, 30, 40 years. Don't you think it's about time that we reap some of the benefits? That's my opinion.
Well, the other thing is a lot of people can't drive to these places anymore.
No,
Or
I agree.
Maybe aren't able to, and if we provide a service, whether it's a minimal cost or whatever, I mean, we need to do more for everybody, not just one age group.
I agree.
So,
But, thank you.
thank you. Okay, elevator service.
We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Our elevator certificate is expiring in June.
And I called Pine State, and they will do it. And I don't have the proposal here. I didn't even know that you put that on the agenda for tonight, so I've got the proposal from them, and it is definitely cheaper than what we've been paying.
Okay.
And they're already handling the fire department, so they might just well handle this one. But I'll bring that up so we can vote on it next week. New business. Update on the town clerk, tax collector position. We are finishing interviews tomorrow afternoon, and hopefully we will have a selection by the end of that interview. Set up for a public hearing for June ballot. I don't know what's
It's something we'll just have to start thinking about. I can ask Dee Dee for recommendations. Typically we do it 30 days prior, at least 30 days prior, so we can get absentee ballots covered. But we have 3 warrant questions. It's going to be a quick public hearing sometime middle of May. I'll ask Dee Dee and we can come back next week with a date.
Okay, great. Review of FOA process documents. Lori?
I went through, the citizens of Limerick deserve to have their requests fulfilled when they want to get information. And they deserve to get it in a timely fashion, and they're required to get it in a timely fashion. In going through, just kind of following up, I realized that the way things have been handled have been kind of loosely handled, to put it nicely. So I took some time and drafted up, and now I can't find it. Drafted up a proposed policy in place after I've now gone through the FOA webinar twice with MMA Legal, and I've had a chance to sit down and talk with one of the legal staff for 45 minutes about it, just asking questions and trying to get some feedback on some things. And from there, she gave me some ideas to write up a procedure on how this needs to happen, because the town should have the designated public access officer, and they are the central point for all requests. They are the public contact person for all requests. Right now, the way things are kind of going is they're coming into our designated public access officer, and it's just being farmed out to whoever they believe has the information. And it's being sent out in emails. Whether the emails are being seen, not seen, whatever, I think it would be a lot easier to have a written process in place to say, okay, we're going to get this information. This person is going to go to the guardian or custodian of the documents to say, hey, when can you get me the documents? They can then turn around within 5 days of the request coming in and say, we're going to have these documents to you by this time. This is your estimated time, at least. That, by putting it into the one person's hands and making them that central person, they can control, they've got the listing of the requests. They know what needs to come and go. They know timelines. Instead of going, well, I sent it to them. I don't know if they ever saw it, but not my problem anymore. I think everybody kind of needs to be accountable for being in that process. So by putting together the procedure, it makes that one person, the central localized person that kind of handles those requests from start to finish. They're the ones that take in the requests. They are the ones that send out the requests. And it was also brought to our attention tonight that, some things are maybe coming in FOA requests that should not be done through FOA requests. And I'm hoping maybe this will help that, where if there's any other issues, documentations for committees, anything else that need to come, that they need information, they shouldn't have to go through a FOA request just so that it's documented to get it, so it's tracked. That should be outside of it. FOA should be a very centralized process. So I have written up my proposal of it, and it also goes over the costs, because FOA requests, according to MMA Legal, we should be charging for anything that's printed for a FOA request. If somebody wants it electronically, that's fine. Those are typically not charged unless we have to print out the pages to do any redacting. Then we are supposed to be charging for those pages. By state law, after 2 hours of time per request, we would be charging the $25 an hour. But all of this is on the webpage. Nothing's really changing. It's just trying to bring a process into place to where there is that one central person that handles the FOA request from start to finish.
I think we can definitely sign this and make it like a formal policy, but from what I've seen in my experience, like reading this is how it happens, and I know I talked about you, I talked about it with you the other day, that typically the request goes into that office requests it from the person. If the person doesn't respond in a timely manner, they request the information again, and then if there's still no response after the second or third, that's when they post the no response received. I think we can definitely sign it and make it an official policy. There's like one thing that I see that might change from what happens now, but I definitely think we can do it, but I think it is getting done very similar to how this is written. But we can make it a formal policy to put it in place.
I think it's necessary just because, most of the requests, when they come in here, most of the requests are coming, or the information is leaving this building, or it's gathered in this building. So when there's emails sent, and no response, and another email sent, and no response, and another email sent, and no response, and then it's documented that there's no response, I'm sorry, but it's 50 feet to walk down a hallway, at most, 100 feet. But to say, hey, I've sent this, I need this information, we've got a requester who needs it, when can you get it for me? Problem solved. Then it's not a no response issue. It's a matter of getting up and just asking and communicating with each other.
Yeah, I know, and we talked about that too in the office. I think that's great. It's definitely doable, walking down the hall and asking it. But I also believe that having something in writing is the best.
Oh, absolutely.
They could come up to me and be like, Brady, when are you going to give this? And I could say, I'll give it to you tomorrow. And then that person could be like, oh, he said he was going to give it to me tomorrow. And I'm like, I never said that. I forgot. I never said that. I ain't doing that. But if it's in writing, it's proved that.
Right, but you can say, okay, I'm going to follow this up with an email, send you an email for a reminder. There's always a way to create a paper trail.
Yeah.
Basically what you're doing.
Right. But this way, if you have that verbal contact of, hey, I've got this request. I need this information. When can you get it for me? It's that confirmation between the two, and then you can follow it up with an email if you want that paper trail.
Yep.
Say just a reminder, this is what I need.
Now, did MMA say what we do if the request is passed on and no one, they don't respond and they ask for it and they still don't respond? Because I know of requests that have been 4 months. I know that.
There were requests that were
5 months, 6 months. I know that Brady has made requests as the chairman of the Board of Selectmen after he had asked for it. He's made requests and they weren't even acknowledged, and to this day I don't believe that I'm not sure, but I don't believe that he's gotten it. And
There,
Because this basically is the same thing that they're doing now, but, you know, and we should be charging for everybody.
All the more reason for having the policy.
You're right.
So if, by having a written policy, does that protect us from a penalty, you know, because we wasn't working to the full policy by MMA? I mean, that,
All that does is set a groundwork and saying, if you're gonna get this information, these are the steps you've gotta go through.
right,
Or steps that have got to be done.
but
by doing this, and the intention behind this is so that it's not it's her fault, it's his fault, it's her
Exactly.
fault, it's her fault. Well, I sent it there, but, oh, I didn't have it, so I didn't respond to it. That's what I have in going from different offices. It's, well, yeah, this was sent to me, but I didn't have the documents, so I ignored it. I don't disagree with you, but when they're just getting, you know, forwarded a FOA that doesn't have anything to do with them.
Well, I don't think there's any that's come in the last couple of weeks, but there'll be a lot that involve us.
Yep.
And I always make sure to respond. I don't have anything correlating to this, just because
Right.
I don't want to, because then it
Right.
will come up at a hearing of citizens that, oh, I didn't get a response. Well, I
Right.
responded.
Right. Well, and that's why, you know, in this, the designated person is supposed to, you know, hey, I've received your request. That's acknowledging.
Well, not only that, whatever information they've asked for, that goes back to the Freedom of Information Officer, right?
Yes, everything goes through the designated public access
So
officer.
if they're asking us for
Incoming and-
something that goes back to that officer, we don't, she just.
Right, I mean,
just
we
hand it
should
to
be.
Whoever and say, it's all taken care of. So
If-
there's accountability.
If somebody is coming to
Yeah.
us saying, hey, you know what, I want you to give me this information, we should be referring them to our designated, we should be referring them to Dottie to say, look, you know, send in your request to Dottie. Or we can reach out to say, so-and-so has requested this information, yada, yada, yada. I don't have any information, or I can get this information and I can get it to you in this amount of time. And then let her kind of take over from there. This way, she's got the logs, she's got all of the incoming, outgoing, everything.
And she is authorized by the town to be that person handling that information. So they get the request, she gets the request, gets the information, gets it back to that person. So there's nobody in the middle saying, I just gave it to this person in
exactly.
discussion.
Right.
Okay? Okay, do we want to?
Yes. I have some FOIA requests since November that I haven't got. So I thought that was a great time to educate myself about this. So when it fails to happen in this building, however it's happening, I think a policy is good, and a procedure with that policy. Augusta FOIA can do nothing except encourage you to get it done. There's nothing in statute that says anything. You must go to your Superior Court, give them $150, and tell them you want it back if you don't prevail, and put in a complaint that you're not getting your FOIA. That's what you do. And maybe that should be part of the procedure, the policy, so people know that. It took me a while. I made numerous phone calls to numerous courts before I finally got that answer twice in a row. So I figured that's the answer. And because the court, when I first called them in Biddeford, said, no, we don't do that, because I got some clerk who didn't know. But in the end, you go to your Superior Court of your county, and you put in a complaint. You have to pay them $150, and you have to ask at that moment that if you prevail, you will get your money back, paid for by the town, or the person, whoever it goes against. Okay? So that's the procedure that I've been told after calling the Attorney General in the state of Maine and the courts in York County. Thank you.
Okay, so, has everybody read this?
Yeah.
Are we prepared to vote on it?
Yeah, I mean, I make a motion, we sign the Town of Limerick FOA process policy.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor? All opposed? To vote? Okay, we can do that. We've got some other stuff we've got to sign here before we leave.
I'll bring back the one next week to sign, just so it doesn't say draft on it.
Oh. Okay, we've got to sign and approve the RSU 57 warrant before we leave. And we have a deed that has to be signed.
Yep, so a deed was given. This is a this is a foreclosed property that was bought back from the original owner. They paid it back, so I would make a motion that we sign that municipal release deed.
So moved. All in
No,
favor?
I made the motion. You second.
Second, sorry. All in favor?
All right.
All opposed? None? Let's vote. Okay, we have no appointments, no resignations.
There is one more. Oh, no, never mind. Sorry.
Go ahead then.
No,
Oh,
yeah.
accessibility policy, okay.
No. I was going to say I handwritten a note on your agenda, but then I realized I already put it on the agenda, the RSU 57. I do want to read one thing. We did get an email while we were sitting here from the fire chief. Please be, and I think it's important to share for the taxpayers that have been listening, please be aware the information shared on TV tonight was mostly inaccurate. Limerick's engine 2 was not in, quote, disrepair. It had a very specific issue that would rarely occur if the operator did not shut down the primer switch as intended. This caused the primer motor to draw too much energy and shut down the power to the gauges and accessory lights. Both engines had problems that were considered minor and not mission critical by our vehicle maintenance vendor. We were placed on a wait list as they were operating on a limited staff and only fixing issues that were essential for vehicles to operate as they should. They did advise that should we have an issue that affected the trucks, they would complete the repair immediately. Our vendor just recently received staffing levels to take on non-essential fixes, which is why 3 vehicles had work done in the past 2 weeks. These vehicles have remained operationally ready since September or were fixed immediately if issues affecting the vehicle's ability to operate arose. So I think that was important just to share.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Let's see, appointments. Discussion on agenda items. Any? Yep.
Question on SAT 57 warrant, is that what we pay them quarterly or whatever? What is that? What's the warrant?
That's the vote for the budget.
It's been voted on.
It's going to be.
Okay, but this warrant to be voted on. Okay.
Gail has one too.
Okay, go on, yeah.
I need some purchase order numbers for Deep Vale. Who do I get them from?
Julie.
Purchase order, she's got the books?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Next item, correspondence. We have an item that everybody's invited to attend, the York County Training Center grand opening. That's in Alfred on May 1st at 11 o'clock. It's a new training center that they put up. Okay.
Nobody
Any
else
other?
has anything, I make a motion to.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn? Don't all holler at the same time.
Third.
All those in favor? I'm calling the vote. All right. 9:37. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, God. You didn't want to
You can
get out of
take-
here
you
quick,
can
did
take-
ya?